Over 11 hours a day is the average amount of time Americans spend in front of a screen, according to MarketWatch in 2018. That is longer than most work shifts. It's also longer than most people sleep per day. The time being spent in front of the screen is damaging our society and our relationships with each other. But we can fix this. The excessive use of screen time is damaging our society in many ways, one of which is sleep. The blue light emitted from screens delays the natural release time of melatonin, which shortens the amount of time it takes for us to get to sleep. According to the National Sleep Foundation, all screens should be off 2 hours prior to bedtime. Another damaging effect that excessive screen time is having on our society is the increase in the obesity rate, according to Mayo Clinic. This is primarily due to Americans' choice of snacks while indulging in screen time, such as popcorn, potato chips, soda. Another way that screen time is damaging our society is depression. I myself am an example of this, as on a harder day or a day when I'm not pleased with myself, I'm more prone to get onto social media by use of my phone. And this just worsens my feeling of depression, as, like most people, the majority of my time on social media is spent comparing myself to others. A recent experience that I had concerning the devastating effect screen time is having on our society was the waiting room of an urgent care. In this waiting room, there was no interpatient communication, and the receptionist was struggling to get the needed information from the patients due to the patients being absorbed into their phone screen. The excessiveness of screen time is also affecting our relationships today, with adults and with our children. Your typical American has an 8-hour work shift, sleeps approximately 8 hours, and spends approximately 2.5 hours with meals. This only leaves 5.5 hours. If Americans are spending an average of 11 hours a day in front of a screen, this doesn't allow much time for relationship building activities. Screen time is devastating our relationships with our children. According to MarketWatch, in 2016, parents of 8 to 18-year-olds spent an average of over 9 hours a day in screen time. This may sound like a hopeless situation, but it's not. We can fix this. According to the Mayo Clinic, 2 to 5-year-old children between the ages of 2 to 5 should spend less than 1 hour daily in screen time, and between the ages of 5 to 18 should spend less than 2 hours daily in front of screen time. This is not including educational purposes or communication purposes such as FaceTime. This is referring primarily to social media, video games, TV. The best way we can fix this is by adults. We have to lead by example. We have to start the change. If we expect our children to begin limiting their screen time to 2 hours a day or 1 hour a day, we need to start the change. We have to limit our amount of time with screens. The effects excessive screen time is having on us, on our lives, on our joy, is devastating. This monster is tearing apart our society and our relationships. But we can fix this. What are you going to do to start the change today?